don't this look like it's about to be fall time? Like we're about to change seasons right now. I mean, really, I am. Hello plant community, thanks for tuning into this channel. My name is Pam, and today you guys, we're going to talk about the challenges of being a plant parent. Now, for some of you, I put in a community post a couple of weeks ago or so that I actually was hospitalized, and I was probably like in the hospital for maybe a period of 5 days, and prior to that, I was not really feeling like myself enough to actually care for my plants. And even though when I was in the hospital, my daughter, she did try her best to help as far as maintaining like the watering regimen of some of my plants. I remember she would like FaceTime me, and I would say, okay, yeah, that one needs a drink and this one needs a drink, and I could kind of like tell just from the way that they were looking. But of course, she's not a plant enthusiast. She doesn't know all the signs of what to look for, and as far as like the way the plant droop and things like that. And she did do a very good job, and I am very grateful and thankful that I did have someone to step in when I'm out. And it kind of like just tied into any scenario. I mean, outside of me being hospitalized. One second. Okay, so outside of me being hospitalized, it could have been something as simple as me just going on vacation somewhere where I'm just out of my home for a period of some time. And anyway, through the course of that, some of my plants kind of took a hit, and I wanted to share, because my channel is about full transparency. We're always showing you guys beautiful growth, nice blooms and things like that, but we rarely talk about the challenges that we face as being a plant collector, plant enthusiast. And those challenges could be, of course, like maintaining the health of our plants, whether it be pest related or just plants in general that may not just be doing well in our care, regardless to what we're doing. That's not speaking to us as a parent. It's just that's part of the pitfalls. We have great successes here, but then we'll have some drastic failures there. So today is about just disclosing the changes that some of my plants went through while I was out, and then also just a collaboration of plants that was already going out before I was even out. And so I'm just going to jump right into it in no particular order. So my first plant I'm going to show you actually is my Tradescantia nanook. Now, right now what you see, I mean, the leaves on this plant, there's nothing wrong with this one stem, but it was fuller than this, and now I'm just down to just literally this. And I think what happened is because this is actually inside of a glazed type of container. This was actually a candle inside, and when I used it, I liked the way the pink and the contrast at the bottom, so I just kept it, and I just figured it would be it's kind of cute that I put this Tradescantia nanook. But I think over time what happened is it kind of got a little too much water in here, even though I did put a drainage hole in the bottom of it, but I think some of it, the roots or some of the stems got soft mushy, kind of like root rot like. And so, I mean, luckily I was able to clip some of them, and I have them rooting in water. And the good thing about Tradescantias is they do root very well. So I do plan on putting it back into the planter, and hopefully I'll try to get a full pot going. So with this particular issue is something that I was able to easily solve, so I do feel happy about that. My next plant I'm about to show you guys kind of like ripped me apart a little bit, and I'm just gonna show y'all. And it's an easy fix. So yeah, it's my Syngonium Cardi Road. Now, if y'all been watching me, y'all know that this thing has been growing very beautiful for me, and it still is to a certain extent, but it did miss a watering, and because of that, as you can see, you guys, I've lost a few leaves. And actually, when I came back home, I saw that some of the leaves were already brown and fell off. And I did trim a little bit of the leaves already off, but I think it's still going through its transition of it just not liking going too long without water. And, you know, hopefully it's just going to have to be bare, I think, like this, unfortunately, because one thing I've noticed in regards to at least this, and y'all comment below, anybody that has this Cardi Road, I'm not really successful with propagating this plant. I've tried a couple of times and it was not successful at all. The root system itself did not grow, and I put it in water, so maybe I should try propagation this time a little differently and possibly maybe put it in sphagnum moss and see if that would be successful. But I do know for a fact that it was not successful for me at all in the water. And so, yeah, I'm a little, because of that, I'm a little skeptical about cutting the top here, because I was thinking about just cutting it and trying to see if I can reroot it and possibly put it back down here, because I wanted this part to be full, and I lost a lot of leaves down here. But yeah, you see how, I mean, it's a little heartbreaking, but I mean, it could be a lot worse. You know, all the leaves could look like this, you know, so I need to be happy that this is all that I'm experiencing, but I have lost a lot of leaves from this plant. And so hopefully you know, I'm here now, and maybe, you know, I'll be able to maintain the integrity of what's left. Now, another one that I'm about to show you guys is another one that's kind of like, oh, like stab me in my chest, but like, I don't know, but it's my beautiful Epiprimnum, my variegated version. Guys, I don't know what the heck is going on with this plant. I don't know. Literally, honestly, when I came home, I noticed that the leaves started yellowing like this. And then I'm so upset about this. Then I have like this black spot right here. I know I'm gonna have to get rid of that leaf. And this yellow leaf is already a goner, if not already fallen off. As a matter of fact, let me just pull it off. Yep. Darn it. You know, and look, it had the fenestrated holes and everything. I don't know what happened. This is what I'm thinking, and it's really not, I'm not blaming my daughter for this at all, because like I said, she did help me. I think because I do have it in a very airy mix, and I do know when I water it and spray down this moss pole that the water literally flushed through. So I'm thinking during the process when it was watered, it probably sat in my little dish that I have for this planter, and it sat in water. And I'm thinking that's what the yellow and leaf are representing. Like this leaf right here is also yellowing as well. I'm just gonna leave it on here for now. And like I said, I'm gonna have to cut this leaf off all together because I don't know what's going on. But yeah, that's going to be like the sad part. I mean, like, it's still beautiful up here. The sad part about it is it's just going to be, I don't know. I'm thinking, okay, if I'm losing some of the leaves, we're in the growing season, it'll promote more growth, and maybe I'll have more shoots come out of the soil. Ha-ha! That's the positive out of the negative. That's the silver lining in the cloud. Just thought of that. Maybe that'll make me feel a little bit better. I don't know. But I do have some new growth points going on. There's a little growth point right here. So I'm not feeling too bad, even though it did hurt my heart when I saw it, because I was like, it's growing so nicely for me. And, you know, I waited so long for the plant to actually start growing. I had it for months before it started finally growing, and it didn't take off until when I actually put it on a moss pole, and that's when it started growing. So for me to lose these leaves so early on, it is kind of heartbreaking, but I'll work at it to make it work. So those were the ones that I feel, in my opinion, that I'll be able to resuscitate. Now, these other ones that I'm about to show you guys, I really don't know which way to go about them, but let me just jump right into it. I'm going to start off with this one. Guys, this is actually what's left of my ring of fire. I rooted it in water, and the roots was doing fine to the point where, okay, I think I got a little cocky. I put it in soil a little bit too soon. I think I should have just waited, and it just took a hit, and I'm just losing leaves like left and right. Like I said, this is one of my wish list plants that I wanted, and I'm not quite sure if the price of these are they coming down. I think they have come down. And I mean, like, I didn't spend a lot of money, or I mean, depending on who your definition of a lot, but it doesn't really matter. I want this plant to do well because this is one of my favorite plants that I really want to do well. So I kind of got it in this watering vessel, sitting in here in my sunroom, directly underneath of one of my grow lights, and it's getting directions. Light from all directions in the room, and I'm hoping that it will jumpstart this plant back up. I'm gonna leave it in this vessel as long as possible. I'm really gonna wait for the root system to get extremely robust and I mean really growing before I actually take it out and even think about potting it up in any soil. And also, while I'm waiting to do that, I may actually be on the lookout of, I'm not sure, looking to see if I could possibly buy another one, because like I said, this is one of my favorite plants that I wanted to have in my collection, and I still do. So I'm not giving up on this one. So yeah, so we'll see about that. These other ones, I have 3 other ones that I'm about to show you guys, and I just don't know. I'm just kind of like, ugh. This one right here, I'm sick of this plant, and I'm about to, this plant is sad. Like I said, some of these plants that I'm showing you, probably, especially these last 3, was already going out before I went out, and and I'm sick of it. This was my Burrow Marks Fantasy. Guys, when I got this plant, and I think is one of my videos I've showed you, actually, I think I did an unboxing. The leaves were so big, and I mean, but the leaves, they were big, but no growth whatsoever. Nothing was going on with the plant. The plant was slowly declining, so I tried multiple things. I tried giving it more light, and when I did give it more light, it was becoming a little bit too chlorotic, so I didn't like that pale look that it had, so I pulled it back because I wanted to keep that dark green that the Fantasy is known for having. It did nothing. Then it was still declining. I thought maybe it was my watering regimen, so I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is one of the plants that don't want to be completely dried out, as philodendrons are known for. So instead of me letting it completely dry out, I would water it when like 3/4 of the pot was dry. Still nothing was going on. I was losing leaves left and right. I only had this leaf left, and what I did, I said, okay, no guts, no glory. I chopped it up, I propagated it, and which is what gave me these little leaves right here. And I mean, the roots were, I would say, actually longer than the required 2 inches. I put it in this small terracotta pot, and I have it sitting underneath a grow light, and this thing is just, I don't know what's going on with it, but you know, I'm actually done with this plant, you guys. Honestly, at the end of this video, I don't know, I may sit it out. I want to throw it in the trash, you guys, to be honest with you. I mean, just trash the whole thing. And I don't want to buy a Fantasy again, because this was not the Fantasy that I was looking for. I was looking for lush, beautiful leaves, and I got short, long disaster is what I got. And that's not a Fantasy that I don't think any of us want here. I don't know what to do with this plant. One of the things that I'm learning, you guys, through all of this, honestly, is, and first of all, let me put it out there. I'm fell out of in love with this plant, and it's not because it's declining. So I want to put that out there. Please don't think that, you know, I'm not loving on these plants because they're not thriving, because if y'all see me with my poor petrocroton that I have been like really doing some surgical moves on it and resuscitating. I love the heck out of that plant, and I'm willing to do anything I can to save it. But this plant right here, I'm not loving it at all. My heart is not in it at all. And when you get a lot of plants and have a big collection, or even a small collection, be honest with you, when you start having plants that's stressing you out, and you know you've done all that you can to care for them, it's like being in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like, if you're in a relationship and you're giving your all and you're not getting anything out of it, what do you traditionally do? Hopefully you get the heck out of it. So that's what I'm like with this plant. I'm ready to just chuck this thing right in trash, because I'm like, it's not worth the headache and trauma that I'm getting out of that, and it's taking away from the joy that I'm already having with my plants. So that's what I'm learning. I used to feel in my earlier plant journey, I used to feel guilty if I had to actually get rid of a plant, because I'm thinking, oh my God, it's a living thing, and this, that, and the third. And you know, you'll drive yourself crazy. I tell you, up the wall worrying about that. So I don't think you really should worry too much about it. So I can say I do like these leaves right here. So I may just, because this one is already dead and gone, I may just cut this off. And you see, it's like roots right here. I don't know. I may just cut this off and just wait. Because, you know, sometimes when I wait on the 11th hour, sometimes my plants say, hey, you know what? Don't give up on me. So I'm hoping this is the case. So I may just hang on to this now that it's good to talk it out with you guys. Y'all bring me back to reality a little bit. And yeah, I think I may just wait. I think I'm going to just cut this leaf off and just wait it out, at least until the growing season. Let me be fair to this plant and say, okay, you have until this growing season, and this growing season only, mister, to show me some growth. And like, I always do mister when they're mad, but when I'm in love, they're my plant girls. Weird. I don't know why I do that, but that's what I do. But okay, so this plant right here, I don't think this okay, before I show you this plant, this has nothing to do with me being out or anything like that. It has nothing to do with lack of water. I'm really kind of like just done with this plant. I just, honestly, you guys, I'm just hanging it and just waiting for it to just completely die. And that's my string of turtles. I am absolutely, guys, let me show you this. Why? Okay. I'm kind of sick of this plant, be honest with you. When I got, the reason why I wanted the string of turtles is because of the turtle look. It had the hard back with that beautiful green, and you saw the little light speckling here and there in the leaf. But this plant is downright, to me, hideous now at this point. Look how bleached it is. Am I giving it too much light? I had this actually in my bedroom because I thought maybe it was getting too much light. And I had it in my bedroom for the entire winter, fall and winter, and it never got dark leaves. It's bleached. The leaves are smaller and smaller, and I mean, it's bone dry right now. I didn't know if I need to possibly get it out of the soil that it's in or what. I don't even know. And you know what? I don't even know if I even want to put the extra effort in trying to even revive this plant, to be honest with you. So I don't know. I'm gonna water it now, actually, because it's dry, bone dry. Maybe it's not getting enough water. Guys, I don't know. Honestly, don't know. I thought I'm giving it optimum conditions, but I do know that string of prostrata, this peperomia prostratas, and that's the thing about peperomias. All of them are not easy care. Some of them are easy care for me, and some are not. And maybe this is just one of them. I don't know. I'm just like, oh, what a disappointment in my mind. Now, my last plant, you guys, I'm going to show you. I'm just gonna show you. This is what's left of my Ficus Benjamin variegated version. You guys, don't this look like it's about to be fall time? Like we're about to change seasons right now. I mean, really, I am this plant. Now, granted, I had this plant, small specimen, 2-inch planter. It was a very juvenile baby, and I had got it to grow to this height, and it was so lush. And I don't know, this plant is just pissing me off. You know, if you move it 1 inch to the left, 1 inch to the right, you lose a leaf. If you push it up, a leaf falls. If you miss a watering, a leaf falls. If you give it too much water, it turns yellow, a leaf falls. And I'm just so sick of the fall. So what I'm gonna do is, to be fair to this plant, and I know at first I was wondering, my initial thought, I was like, dang, is the stems dying? But I know the stems aren't dying because, let's see. Let me scratch it. I scratched the stem, like I scratched this, and the stem, I don't know if you can see the color, but the stem is actually green. So it's telling me it's still alive. So what I'm gonna do, I know this plant does not like to be moved, but at this point, maybe it'll like being moved outside. I'm gonna put this plant outside. And see, this is the thing. This is where it gets tricky for me. This plant does not like to be moved. If I put it outside and it does well, great. But I know that the second I bring it in here, and I'm gonna have to bring it back in here, you guys, because I live in a 4-seasoned climate, so it won't survive over the winter time. So, and if I bring it back in here, I just know that the daggone leaves are probably going to fall off. But you know what? I'm going to put it outside. I'm actually going to spray the stems to see if I can promote some growth, because that's kind of like what I was doing with my Petra Croton, to kind of like get some of the leaves to come back. And so far it's been working. So maybe I'll try that. But you know, like I said, I've been going on an emotional roller coaster with this plant. And this plant has really until the end of this growing season. And actually, if it does start doing well outside, great. And if I bring it back in here and it starts doing this dog and pony show thing that it does, I'm going to just put it in the trash. And I'm not going to have a problem putting it in the trash, and that's just what it's going to be. And the reason why, like I said, is because these plants are not going to kill the joy of me caring for my plants. And I gotta say, you know, I don't know how many plants I do have actually in my collection, but I know currently I do have over 200. I think if I actually was to count it, having that statistical number in my mind probably would stress me out, because that's just the way I'm wired. You know, I'll be like, oh my God, I got 300 plants, 300 responsibilities, and you know, it starts playing on my brain, and it'll have a adverse negative reaction or effect on me. So I try to, because I have a lot of plants, I try to strategically place my plants or group my plants together where it's like maybe similar care, and it's a little bit more easier and convenient, and I don't feel stressed. And because of that, you guys, I can honestly say I have not felt overwhelmed yet in regards to caring for my plants. But I do know if I was to actually bring all the plants inside my home and brought them all in this sunroom and I saw them all grouped together, I probably would have a panic attack, to be honest with you. And I don't suffer from them or anything like that, but I believe that I would actually feel panicked if they were all in here, because just seeing just a whole bunch of them like that would just be so overwhelming. So, and I want to keep, even though I do have over 200 plants, I still want to collect and get those plants that I still want to try to grow and actually get enjoyment, because that's what this is about. It's actually a calming, therapeutic thing for me. When I have a bad day at work, which can be a lot because I'm not going to get into it because I'm just not. Sometimes my job itself is not stressful. It's just probably I don't even want to say. But sometimes my job can be a little bit, you have a bad day at work. I come in here and I can sit down and, I don't know, just looking at the beautiful plant growth and, plants, they're not like people. They don't have any huge expectations from you. Just care for them. And they'll reward you just from your basic care. And it just brings my heart joy, and it give me a calming effect. That's why I feel really blessed and honored that I even have a space in my home. Really, this room, I can honestly say, is like my actual plant haven, my actual sanctuary from the hustle and bustle. And I'm just so blessed that I even have that as an option. I mean, just look behind me. It just to me it seems serene and so relaxing, and I'm just so blessed. And I hope that you guys have an area in your home, whether it's a corner or a wall or some place where you can actually look at and visually, mentally get away, because that's what, to me, growing plants is about. But I wanted to, like I said, we have the joys and then we have the not so joyfuls, but it's all part of being a plant parent and all part of learning from our experiences. And, I'm learning and accepting the fact that every plant I bring in my house is not going to grow under my care. I'm learning and accepting the fact that I'm going to have plants that's going to just not like my environment. No matter what I do, I can do all the research in the world. I can try everything, and sometimes certain plants just won't thrive in my home. But the plants that don't thrive in my home is not to say that they won't thrive in your home, and vice versa. And it's okay. It's absolutely okay. So we need to be okay with our plant failures. It just gets us closer to plant successes. That's the way that I'm gonna look at it. Even though these plants, some of these, the last ones that I've showed you, are pissing me off a little bit, but pissing me off in a fun and joyful way. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up this video, you guys. I know I can go on, and I hope it's somewhat entertaining, but I wanted to, like I said, just share with you some of the babies that's not doing so well. So y'all comment below. Let me know if y'all have any of these plants, particularly if you have this Ficus benjamina, as well as the string of turtles. If they done well in your conditions, share some tips. Please help me out here, because I'm at my wit's end, and I'm really to file it in cabinet 13. So y'all just let me know. This ends my video, you guys. Keep in mind, if you love foliage as much as I do and you love listening to planty things, definitely subscribe to this channel. Give me a big thumbs up, please. That really helps my channel and supports my channel and get it out there. I do appreciate y'all support in any which shape or form. I love conversing with y'all too in the comments. So, keep the comments coming. Enjoy your day wherever you are in the world, you guys. And until next time, much love. Bye.